Hare Krishna. Welcome all of you for today's Srimad Bhagavatam session. Let us begin with prayers. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवति उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Creation, Chapter 7, entitled The Son of Drona Punished. Text 38. Text 38. प्रतिश्रुतं च भवता पाञ्चाल्यै शृण्वतो मम आहरिष्ये शिरस्तस्य यस्ते मानिनि पुत्रः. Translation by His Divine Grace Vishwaguru Abhay Charanaravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Lord Krishna continued, furthermore, I have personally heard you promise Draupadi that you would bring forth the head of the killer of her sons. So, in this chapter, as we discussed yesterday, Lord Krishna is trying to test Arjuna by putting him in a condition where he has to display his spiritual intelligence. A devotee's spiritual intelligence is tested whether he or she abides by the orders of the Lord or not in any given circumstance. So Arjuna is in a situation where he has promised Draupadi that I will bring the head of the killer of your sons, do not lament. And he got to know that it is Ashwathama who is actually the killer of his sons. Now Krishna is telling Arjuna that a person who has indulged himself in killing innocent children when they are asleep, he should not be shown any mercy. Krishna is telling this to Arjuna. And Krishna is also reminding Arjuna in this shloka, Pratishrutam cha bhavata. Pratishrutam, it is promised. Before Arjuna and Krishna left their chariot, Arjuna had actually promised to Draupadi that whoever it may be, the killer of your sons, I will bring the cut head of that uh, criminal. So Krishna is referring to that. He's saying, Pratishrutam cha bhavata panchalyai shrinvato mama. You had promised to Panchali. Panchali means the daughter of the king of Panchala Desha, that is Draupadi Maharani. And here it is said, Bhavata, by you, by Arjuna, Pratishrutam, you had promised to Panchali, Draupadi, Shrinvataha, I also heard it. Shrinvataha Mama, I have heard it personally that you had promised Panchali. What you had promised? Aharishye shiraha tasya yahate manini putraha. Aharishye, you had told Panchali that you shall bring Shiraha, the head of Manini Putraha. the killer of her sons. You had told this to her. So therefore, now you should not show mercy to Ashwathama. That is what Krishna is telling here. Hmm? Furthermore, I have personally heard you promise Draupadi that you would bring forth the head of the killer of her sons. So, Arjuna is in a situation where his dear guru, Dronacharya, who had actually, out of great affection, had taught him all the military science. His son, Dronacharya's son Ashwathama, has done a very grievous offense, a grievous sinful activity of killing the Upa Pandavas. So Krishna is telling Arjuna, you should not have any soft corner towards Ashwathama because he happens to be the son of your military teacher. He has done a sinful activity. According to the scriptures, a person who knows the principles of dharma will never kill children, that too when they are sleeping. And this Ashwathama has done this. So I have personally heard that you had promised to Draupadi that you will bring the head of the killer of her sons. Therefore, you should not show any mercy to Ashwathama. Another interesting point here is Krishna is telling to Arjuna, I have personally heard what you promised to Draupadi. Now, Krishna is seated in everyone's heart as Paramatma. So, whatever we speak, Krishna always hears to it. Our thoughts, our actions, our words are constantly witnessed by the Lord. Bhagavatam says, Upadrashta Anumantacha. So, Paramatma seated in our heart, he is called Upadrashta. Upadrashta means he is the overseer, he is the witness of all our activities. Anumanta means he is the sanctioner. Without his sanction, we cannot perform any activity in this material world. And also, Krishna mentions in the 15th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, Mattaha smritir jnanam apohanam cha. I am seated in everyone's heart as Paramatma, and I give the intelligence, remembrance, and forgetfulness for every living entity. That means Krishna, seated as Paramatma within our heart, he reminds us about our own desires in the past that we might have forgotten. When suitable situations come, the Lord reminds us, oh, that day you had desired such a thing. Now there is a suitable situation, opportunity to satisfy your desire. Now it might be a material desire or a spiritual desire, doesn't matter. Paramatma keeps noticing all our desires, and in different situations, he gives us the remembrance of those desires that we might have desired in the past. Now the test here is Paramatma as a neutral witness. He reminds us, but the test for us is whether we are interested to act as per the desire of the Lord or not. That is the test for a devotee. We may desire thousands of things, and the Paramatma will remind us in suitable situations. But after having understood what is Lord Krishna's plan for me, what is Lord Krishna's desire for me, what are we going to do? How are we going to act? That is the test of a devotee. For example, suppose a devotee has desired some sense gratification in one condition, in one situation, and after several days, a suitable opportunity for that sense gratification comes about. And the Paramatma seated within our heart reminds us, oh, that day you had desired, no? Today it is there. Why don't you go? Why don't you go and enjoy? But suppose if it is a sinful activity, suppose if it is not conducive for devotional service, what should be our response? Hmm? Our response should be, oh, this is not going to please Krishna, therefore I will not do it. Of course, based on our degree of surrender to Krishna, the Lord interferes in our life. If one is fully surrendered to Krishna, then Paramatma within the heart will give only those remembrances of which will help us to make more advancement in Krishna consciousness. He will remind us only those desires which will help us to become more and more attached to Krishna and devotional service. But if we are not fully surrendered to Krishna, then and we happen to desire material desires, then it is a very uh, difficult situation. Therefore, it is very important, even our desires should become spiritualized. Our desires also should be in line with Krishna's teachings, Krishna's instructions in the Bhagavad Gita. Then there is no problem. So, becoming a devotee, it is an inside out process. No doubt, first we all begin with external practices. Just like Srila Prabhupada told one disciple when he said, I'm not comfortable bowing down in front of you. So, can I bow down to you only when I feel that I should bow down to you? All other devotees were bowing down in front of the spiritual master, but this devotee said, I'm not feeling like that I should bow down in front of you. Is it okay, Srila Prabhupada, if I bow down to you when I get the feelings? Then Prabhupada immediately said, you practice to bow down, then the proper feelings will come about gradually. So we all start with the external practices. External practice of bowing down in front of the spiritual master, bowing down in front of the Lord, chanting the holy names. While doing all this, we may not have the required bhavana, required feelings of devotion and surrender. But when we continue to practice this based on the instructions of the spiritual master and the directions of the scriptures, slowly we will develop the required feelings of surrender and devotion to the Lord. But ultimately, if we have to become fixed up in devotional service for an entire lifetime, then it is very important not only to externally imitate, as an imitation, we should not keep doing devotional service. How long we can do? Initially, it may work, but if we want to practice devotional service throughout our life, a change of consciousness has to happen. Internal transformation has to come about. So that happens when we are sincere. That happens when we follow the do's and don'ts of devotional service. That also happens when we hear Bhagavatam in the association of devotees. So, practicing devotional service means it is not just externally doing something, but internally the required feelings also have to develop. The consciousness has to develop. Default consciousness that we all have is I am this body and I have to secure my material enjoyments, material pleasures. I should work hard for satisfying my material desires. And I am the enjoyer. These are the default feelings that we all have. But over a period of time, these feelings have to get replaced with Krishna conducive feelings, bhakti conducive feelings. No, I'm not this body, I'm spirit soul. I am part and parcel of Krishna. Serving Krishna is actually my real self interest. Pleasing Krishna is the paramount purpose of my existence. Now, these feelings we have to develop, and this cannot be artificially developed. These have to come about, and these feelings will come about if we are sincerely trying to execute the instructions given by the bona fide spiritual master. Only by the mercy of Guru and Krishna we can develop genuine feelings and practice bhakti in a way which is pleasing to the Lord. So here, Krishna is reminding Arjuna, see, before we left the camp, you had promised to Panchali that you will bring the head of the slayer of her sons. And you know, in front of you, Ashwathama is standing now. Hmm? So you have to take the necessary action. That is what Krishna is telling. Let us see what happened next. Krishna says some more things. Let us see that. Text 39. तदसौ वध्यतां पापा आततायी आत्मबन्धुः भर्तुश्च विप्रियं वीर कृतवान् कुलपां सनः. Translation and purport by Vishwaguru Srila Prabhupada. Translation. Lord Krishna continued, this man is an assassin and murderer of your own family members. Not only that, but he has also dissatisfied his master. He is, he is but the burnt remnants of his family. Kill him immediately. Purport. The son of Dronacharya is condemned here as the burnt remnants of his family. The good name of Dronacharya was very much respected. Although he joined the enemy camp, the Pandavas held him always in respect, and Arjuna saluted him before beginning the fight. There was nothing wrong in that way, but the son of Dronacharya degraded himself by committing acts which are never done by the Dvijas or the twice born higher castes. Ashwathama, the son of Dronacharya, committed murder by killing the 5 sleeping sons of Draupadi, by which he dissatisfied his master Duryodhana, who never approved of the heinous act of killing the 5 sleeping sons of the Pandavas. This means that Ashwathama became an assaulter of Arjuna's own family members, and thus he was liable to be punished by him. In the Shastras, he who attacks without notice, or kills from behind, or sets fire to another's house, or kidnaps one's wife, is condemned to death. Krishna reminded Arjuna of these facts so that he might take notice of them and do the needful. So Krishna is telling, Tadasau vadyatam papa. Tadasau, this man, vadyatam, he should be killed. Because he is papa, he has committed sinful activities. And he is atatayi, he is an assaulter, he is a terrorist, atatayi. And he, what he has done, atma bandhuha, he has killed your own sons. And he has also bhartuhu vipriyam, his bhartu means the maintainer, that is Duryodhana, the master. He has actually not dissatisfied even his master, Duryodhana, as we saw in one of the verses before in this chapter. When Ashwathama took the 5 cut heads of the Upapandavas, hoping that Duryodhana will be pleased and he will die a peaceful death upon seeing those heads. But Duryodhana was not at all happy with this. He also condemned the act of Ashwathama. He also did not want the sons, innocent boys, to be killed like that when they are sleeping. So that means even Duryodhana was displeased by the acts of Ashwathama. Then what to speak of, in any way trying to defend Ashwathama or trying to show mercy or forgive him. There is no room. If such a demoniac person as Duryodhana himself has condemned the acts of Ashwathama, then truly he is thoroughly condemned. So here it is said, Bhartuhu Vipriyam. He has not satisfied his Bhartuhu, his master also. Veera, O warrior, O Arjuna, Kritavan Kulapam Sanaha. So Kritavan means one who has done it. Kulapam Sanaha, the burnt remnants of the family. So Krishna is addressing, or he is referring to Ashwathama as Kulapam Sanaha. He is just the burnt remnants of his family. That means the good name that his father had gained among you, the Pandavas, that reputation that Dronacharya had, he is like a black spot. This Ashwathama is like a black spot on all that, on that reputation. Of course, Dronacharya's reputation was not spotless in that sense, as Prabhupada mentions, that he joined the Adharma party. But whatever it was, he openly fought on the battlefield. But this Ashwathama, hmm, he did not dare to fight openly on the battlefield. But now, after the battle is over, in a stealthy way, hmm, like a thief, he has come and killed these innocent boys. Therefore, he has spoiled the good name of Dronacharya. Therefore, he is called Kulapam Sanaha. Actually, this point many times Krishna also mentions in the Bhagavad Gita by addressing Arjuna as Kaunteya, as Pandava, as Bharata Shabha, like this. Arjuna is addressed throughout the Bhagavad Gita by Krishna by these names. Bharatar Shabha means the best among the Bharatas. Uh, Pandava means the son of Maharaj Pandu. And he also is addressed as Kaunteya, the son of Kunti. Partha, the son of Pritha, like this. Why is Krishna addressing Arjuna by all these names in the Bhagavad Gita? Because Krishna is meaning to say that you are the descendant of such great family. Look at your mother, Kunti. She had to face so many hardships in her life. And after the death of Maharaj Pandu, she was all alone. And she took care of all of you. She raised all of you so nicely, even though she was going through so many problems personally. So look at her willpower. You are the son of such a strong woman. And now on the battlefield, Arjuna, you are coming and saying that you will not fight, you will run away, and you will maintain yourself by begging. No, this is not at all becoming you. This is not at all befitting your position. Uh, In the same way, you are Bharatar Shabha. You are coming in the lineage of King Bharata, who is known for his strength, uh, his governance. Such a great king he was, and you are descendant of such a king. And now you are speaking in this manner. You are speaking like a coward. So, like that, Krishna many times says, Prabhupada also writes in the purport, in one of the purports in Bhagavad Gita, he says that Krishna addresses Arjuna as Kaunteya, as Pandava, to remind him that he has descended from such great parents, such great lineage. Therefore, he has to act responsibly. When you take birth in a good family, it is very important to at least act in such a way that you don't spoil the good name of that family. Even if you are not able to glorify that family, the heritage, the lineage through your activities, it doesn't matter. At least we should not do something which will cause ill reputation for that family. In the same way, a devotee also should behave very carefully. Many times, you know, we wear tilak, we wear kantimala, and we go out, and we may, if we speak in a wrong manner amidst other people, or if you behave in a um, way which is not at all befitting a devotee, then people will say, "Oh, this is what you have learned in ISKCON. You are putting kantimala, you are wearing tilak, and look at your acts, look at how you are speaking. This is not at all befitting. Is this what you have learned from your guru?" They will say. That means a devotee has to be very careful. I am representing Srila Prabhupada. I am representing Srila Prabhupada's pure movement. And if I behave in a wrong manner, then it will cause ill reputation to my guru, to my spiritual master. That's a very important. Therefore, a devotee has to speak, act in a responsible manner, such that the spiritual master's glories are uh, appreciated by others. Our activities should establish the glory of Srila Prabhupada. Our talk should establish the glory of Srila Prabhupada's movement. Dharma sthapana hetu sadhura vyavahara. A sadhu or a devotee, how he has to behave. Vyavahara means his behavior should be for dharma sthapana, for establishing the principles of dharma. So even if you are not wearing tilak or kantimala, suppose in your company or in your college, they get to know that you are regularly going to temple, you are a part of folk, and in some situation uh, they find your behavior unacceptable, then immediately they will say, "Oh, this is what you are learning in ISKCON temple. This is what the devotees have taught you. Is this the way devotees should behave?" Immediately they will find fault with the temple, with the movement. Therefore, it's very important that we have to behave always in a way which is glorifying Srila Prabhupada's pure movement. So here, Ashwathama's activity, according to Lord Krishna, it is so degraded that he is called as Kulapamsanaha. He is the burnt remnants of his family. All the good reputation that Dronacharya had, Ashwathama has actually destroyed that reputation by this heinous act of killing the sons of the Pandavas when they were sleeping. Another important point that Srila Prabhupada mentions in the purport is uh, this person, he must be considered as a atatayi. Atatayi means an assaulter, one who has transgressed the laws of civic behavior. Forget about spiritual standards. Even normal civic standards are not kept up by Ashwathama. Every human being should have civic sense. That means when I am in the society, I am part of a society. There are so many people in the society, and I have to speak in a certain way. I have to act in a certain way. For example, sometimes we see this very often in our country. People say we should keep our house very clean. So they take a lot of trouble to clean every bit of their house. They collect all the garbage and put it on the street. That means their house should be clean, but the streets can be full of garbage. That means they are lacking civic sense. They lack civic sense. Oh, what will happen if I pile up the garbage on the streets? It will cause problems for others. Huh? Many times we also see during rallies or during protests, some people they go and set fire on tires, and there will be so much thick smoke coming from that burning of that tire, rubber tires. So, is this the way to show your disagreement. Okay, you have got a right to protest. That doesn't mean you create such a pollution or such a problem for others. Sometimes people go and throw stones on the bus. They forget that it is from their own money. The government has purchased those buses. It is public property. Many times we see uh, Vande Bharat Express, for example. You know, it is supposed to be a high-tech train in India, but then people do not know how to maintain it properly. So they create. So this is called lack of civic sense. So Ashwathama, he's supposed to be a son of a Brahmana. He's supposed to act on a very elevated platform. He's supposed to know spiritual principles, but his activities do not uh, depict that he even knows common civic sense. Hmm? Forget about expecting very high, elevated spiritual standard of behavior from him. Even normal behavior, which even an ordinary person will not do, such an activity Ashwathama has done. You see? See how Krishna is analyzing the activities of Ashwathama. As I mentioned yesterday, Ashwathama is the only person whom Krishna is condemning like this and whom Krishna curses. Nobody Krishna curses like this. Only Ashwathama. Because you got all facilities, you're born in a Brahmana family, you got such a great father, Dronacharya, and this is the kind of heinous activity that you have done. Oh, this is thoroughly condemned. So Krishna is disgusted with the activities of Ashwathama. If the Supreme Lord has to become disgusted with somebody, then such a person is the most degraded soul. This point we had discussed yesterday also. So, uh, now all these points uh, Krishna is mentioning to Arjuna because Arjuna is now supposed to take an action now. So he's saying, kill him immediately. Krishna is saying, kill him now. You have to take action immediately. Don't spare, don't show any mercy on this son of a Brahmana. These are the arguments that Krishna is putting forward in front of uh, Arjuna. Let us see what happened after this. Text 40. Suta uvacha evam parikshita dharmam partha krishnena choditaha naichadhantum guru sutam yadyapyatmahanam mahan. Translation and purport by Vishwaguru Srila Prabhupada. Translation. Suta Goswami said, although Krishna, who was examining Arjuna in religion, encouraged Arjuna to kill the son of Dronacharya, Arjuna, a great soul, did not like the idea of killing him, although Ashwathama was a heinous murderer of Arjuna's family members. Purport. Arjuna was a great soul, undoubtedly, which is proved here also. He is encouraged herein personally by the Lord to kill the son of Drona, but Arjuna considers that the son of his great teacher should be spared, for he happens to be the son of Dronacharya, even though he is an unworthy son, having done all sorts of heinous acts whimsically for no one's benefit. Lord Sri Krishna encouraged Arjuna outwardly just to test Arjuna's sense of duty. It is not that Arjuna was incomplete in the sense of his duty, nor was Lord Sri Krishna unaware of Arjuna's sense of duty, but Lord Sri Krishna put to test many of his pure devotees just to magnify the sense of duty. The gopis were put to such tests as well. Prahlad Maharaj also was put to such a test. All pure devotees come out successful in the respective tests by the Lord. Thus ends the Bhakti Vedanta purport. So Suta Goswami is continuing the narration. So he's saying, Evam parikshita dharmam parthaha krishnena choditaha. Evam, in this way, parikshita, being examined. So Arjuna was being examined. Partha means Arjuna. And Dharmam, what was the point in which he was being examined by the Lord? Dharmam, in the matter of dharma, in the matter of duty. The word dharma has got this sense of duty. Hmm? There is there is paro dharma and aparo dharma. That is dharma on the constitutional position. What is your dharma? Constitutionally, we are all part and parcel of Krishna. So our eternal constitutional dharma is to serve Krishna. And then there is situational duty also. In a given situation, what is our duty? For example, in a given situation, what is the duty of the doctor? What is the duty of a police? That is his situational dharma. So constitutionally, we are all servants of Krishna. We should engage in service of Krishna. But situationally, we may be playing so many other roles in our day-to-day life. So Arjuna is being tested here by the Lord in the matter of his situational duty. There is no doubt on the part of Krishna. Krishna had no doubt, the Lord had no doubt about Arjuna's being a pure devotee, and that we already saw in the Bhagavad Gita, when Krishna finally told that this battle of Kurukshetra is my plan, and you should execute my plan as an instrument in my hand. Finally, Krishna, after hearing from Krishna, Arjuna agreed. So Arjuna surrendered to Krishna, and Arjuna agreed to follow his instructions. He said, Karishye vachanam tava, I shall act according to your desire. He kept aside his so-called principles of morality, on the basis of which he was arguing in the beginning that he will not fight. He kept aside those things, and he said, whatever the Lord says, I will do it. So there's no doubt that Arjuna is a pure devotee. Arjuna is always surrendered to the will of the Lord. There is no doubt. But here, Krishna is putting Arjuna in a test. Krishna wanted to, as Prabhupada mentions the purport, Krishna wanted to glorify the position of Arjuna. This is very interesting. Pure devotees are always tested by the Lord. And why does the Lord test the pure devotees? It's not that the Lord has any doubt about those pure devotees' surrender towards Him. The Lord is completely convinced. But still, the Lord is very eager to glorify such pure devotees and show their brilliant character to the whole world. That is why the Lord arranges such testing situations in the life of pure devotees. No? Prabhupada gives examples of that in this purport. The gopis were tested by the Lord. In the dead of night, Krishna, he plays on his flute, and being attracted by the flute of Krishna, the gopis, the spiritual bodies of the gopis, come to the forest of Vrindavan on the Sharad Purnima night. In the midnight, all the gopis come. And at that time, Krishna says so many things. He discourages them. Please go back to your houses. The gopis say, no, we have come to take shelter of you. We have come to serve you. We have got attracted to your service, to you. Please don't send us back. But Krishna says, no, you should please go back. You should go back. So, and Krishna gives so many reasons for that, why you should go back. But finally, when Krishna sees that the gopis are not at all interested in any of their personal enjoyment, they're only interested to give pleasure to Krishna, then Krishna agreed. And then, so in this way, the gopis passed the test of Krishna. Another example Prabhupada gives is Prahlad Maharaj. So Prahlad Maharaj is a pure devotee, 5-year-old boy, but he was put into so many difficulties. His own father created so many difficulties for him. Why did the Lord allow such a thing? First time only when Hiranyakashipu tried to give trouble to Prahlad, why didn't Narsimhadev appear immediately and protect Prahlad? Why did the Lord allow his devotee, 5-year-old boy, small boy, to go through so many hardships? Why? Because the Lord wants to glorify the position of Prahlad Maharaj. See, such a devotee, a 5-year-old boy, he is not ready to give up bhakti, even though he is put into so many hardships. Huh? That means today, why do we glorify Prahlad Maharaj as Bhaktaraj, the king among the devotees? It is because of his determination in the face of adversities. So Krishna wants to glorify the pure devotees to the whole world. Pure devotees are interested to glorify Krishna in the same way, reciprocally. Krishna is always interested to glorify his pure devotees. Just like when gold is put into fire, it becomes more and more brilliantly shining. Like that, when a pure devotee is put into such testing situations, his character emerges out more brilliantly, and the whole world gets to know the true glories of such a pure devotee. So, this is the plan of the Lord. So, why is the Lord instigating Arjuna to kill Ashwathama? Because Lord wants to uh, test Arjuna's sense of duty, and through this, he wants to show the pure character of Arjuna to the whole world. Now, one may say, why is Krishna doing like this? The same Arjuna, when he said on the battle of Kurukshetra, I will not fight against Bhishma, Drona, that time Krishna did not agree. That time he said, you should fight, you should kill. Hmm. So now what is this? A different kind of test. So the point is, pure devotees are always interested to carry out the Lord's order. Somebody asked Srila Prabhupada once what happened. There was a rally, or there was a march, in some country, I think in the US. Uh, a march was conducted by some vegetarian society. So they had hoarding, they had banners in their hands, and they were calling out slogans: "Be veg, go veg; be veg, go veg," like that. Some vegetarian movement. So one disciple saw this, devotee saw this. Oh, this is so nice. So he came to Srila Prabhupada running and said, Prabhupada, there is a march here outside. Hmm? They're all promoting vegetarian food. They're calling out slogans and they're requesting people to become vegetarians. And we also want to become, we are also telling people to give up meat eating. So shall we also go, we devotees also go and join that march? Like this, one of the disciples asked Srila Prabhupada. And Prabhupada said, no, we are neither for vegetarianism nor for non-vegetarianism. We are Krishnatarians. We are interested to follow what Krishna is saying. No doubt they are talking about vegetarianism, but where is Krishna in the picture? They are saying we should become vegetarians because it has health benefits, or they want to show mercy towards the animals. But we are following no meat eating principle because Krishna has told Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam Yome Bhaktya Prayachati. So, this is very important point that Srila Prabhupada brings out. So, our motivation, we may sometimes the materialistic people also may be following certain principles in their life, and it may be in line with our Krishna conscious principles. But their motivation to follow and our motivation to follow is totally different. They are motivated based on some material benefits, but we are following because Krishna has told it. So Prabhupada says in one place, if Krishna tells you should eat meat, then the devotees will be the greatest meat eaters. If Krishna tells, yes, we should do that. That is the principle. The point is, what Krishna says, that we have to follow. This is called surrender to the Lord. It is not being fanatic, but it is being. How can we figure out what is best for us ourselves? We are tiny living entities under the grip of Maya. So, whatever reasons and whatever logics we come up with, they're all contaminated by Maya. So, we need perfect knowledge. In our current state of being contaminated by Maya, we cannot come up with perfect knowledge. We cannot figure out what is the ultimate absolute knowledge. That is why we have to consult Krishna, the Bhagavad Gita's instructions. So Krishna is speaking the Bhagavad Gita and he is completely on the spiritual platform. So whatever he says, we have to follow that. That is the meaning of being a devotee. That is the meaning of surrendering to the Lord. So we are not particularly interested in this or that. If it is pleasing Krishna, yes, we will do it. So it is on this principle that Arjuna agreed to fight on the battle of Kurukshetra. Because it is pleasing to Krishna. Krishna said, I have come to this material world with a mission, and my mission is to destroy adharma and to establish dharma. And I have chosen you, Arjuna, for my mission. I want you to be an instrument in my hand for accomplishing this mission. Now tell me, are you ready to keep aside your so called moral principles? And are you ready to uh, be an instrument in my hand? That is what Krishna is speaking in the Bhagavad Gita. And Arjuna said, yes, I'm ready. Now I have understood what is your actual position. You are the Supreme Lord, the source of everything, and I am your part and parcel. Just like every part of the body has to, if I want to lift my hand, right hand, the hand has to simply obey my command. That is the meaning of being part of the body. So the hand belongs to me, therefore, hand has to serve my purpose. In the same way, we all belong to Krishna. We are all amshas of Krishna, part and parcel of Krishna. And we have to follow what Krishna is saying. This is the real dharma. That is why the last instruction that Krishna is giving is Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Braja. Krishna is saying, give up all other dharmas. Just surrender to me. Whatever I am saying, you do that. This is the highest dharma. So, highest dharma means to give up all other dharmas and to surrender to Krishna, to serve Krishna. This is the highest dharma. So, here Krishna is testing Arjuna's sense of duty, and the reason behind this is, as Prabhupada mentions in the purport, Krishna wants to glorify Arjuna and show his real greatness to the whole world. Let's see what happened next. Text 41. So here the shloka says that Evam parikshita dharmam, we are seeing the 40th shloka. Evam parikshita dharmam partha krishnena choditaha. Choditaha means he was encouraged. Krishna encouraged Arjuna to kill Ashwathama, but then na ichad hantum. Arjuna did not desire to kill. Na ichad. He did not like to kill Guru Sutam, the son of his teacher. Yadyapi Atmahanam Mahan. Even though, Yadyapi, although he was the murderer of his sons. So Arjuna uh, did not like somehow killing Ashwathama. So the point here is Hmm? A pure devotee of the Lord, he is not in the mood of taking revenge against anybody. This point we have to understand very carefully. Pandavas did not fight on the battlefield of Kurukshetra because they wanted to take revenge against Duryodhana and party. No, because Krishna told them they fought. This is the point. Many times people understand Mahabharata war is simply a family fight. It is simply property case. It is not property case. It is the fight between dharma and adharma. It is the fight between one party who wants to establish Krishna's will and the other party who are challenging Krishna's will. This is the whole point. It is not simply a property issue. So, uh, because the pure devotee of the Lord is actually not interested in any material property of this world. He is only interested to serve Krishna. That is why in the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna is giving so many reasons why he doesn't want to fight. And Prabhupada says this kind of a compassion is possible only for a pure devotee of the Lord. So a pure devotee is not interested in avenging, taking revenge, and all of that. Whatever Krishna has given, that is sufficient for me. That is the mood. But since they were acting as Kshatriyas, Krishna said, "You must fight," and that is a situational duty reason. But constitutional duty reason is because I want this war to happen, and you are my devotee. Therefore, you have to act as per my desire. So that is the point. Okay, let us see the next shloka, text 41. अधोपेत्य स्वशिबिरं गोविन्दप्रियसारथिः न्यवेदयत् तं प्रियायै शोचन्त्य आत्मजान् हतान्. Translation and purport by Vishwaguru Srila Prabhupada. Translation. After reaching his own camp, Arjuna, along with his dear friend and charioteer Sri Krishna, entrusted the murderer unto his dear wife, who was lamenting for her murdered sons. Purport. The transcendental relation of Arjuna with Krishna is of the dearmost friendship. In the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord himself has claimed Arjuna as his dearmost friend. Every living being is thus related with the Supreme Lord by some sort of affectionate relation, either as servant, or as friend, or as parent, or as an object of conjugal love. Everyone thus can enjoy the company of the Lord in the spiritual realm if he at all desires and sincerely tries for it by the process of Bhakti Yoga. Thus ends the Bhakti Vedanta purport. So here, Ataha, thereafter, Upetya, they reached Swashibhiram, his own camp. They reached the Pandavas' camp. Who reached? Arjuna and Krishna. Govinda Priyasarathihi. They reached along with Govinda. Arjuna reached the chariot, the camp, along with Govinda. So Govinda means it is one of the names of Lord Krishna, and one who enlivens the senses of his devotees. He is called Govinda. One who gives pleasure to the senses of his devotees. He is called Govinda. So Govinda Priyasarathihi. He is very dear to Arjuna, and he is also Sarathi. He is the chariot driver for Arjuna. Out of his affection towards Arjuna, Krishna accepted a menial service of being a chariot driver for Arjuna. So therefore, Govinda Priyasarathihi. This word Govinda is used here very specifically because Arjuna, being a pure devotee, his senses are always engaged in serving Krishna. Go means senses. So Arjuna or any pure devotee of the Lord, his senses are always engaged in the service of Krishna. There is no question of seeking material sense pleasure by a devotee who is fixed up in the service of Krishna. Of course, in the beginning stage of devotional service, because because of past habits and conditioning, one may be chanting Hare Krishna and continue side by side, one may be also seeking material sense gratification. But that's only a beginning stage, neophyte stage. But when one becomes fixed up in devotional service, then one's senses are fully engrossed in the service of Krishna. Then there is no seeking of any other pleasure other than the pleasure derived by serving Krishna. So, pure devotee, like Arjuna, his senses are always absorbed in giving pleasure to Krishna. He does not desire any other pleasure. That is the position of Arjuna and all the Pandavas. They are always absorbed in serving Krishna. If you read in the same first canto of Bhagavatam, you will find in one of the chapters, uh, Yudhishthir Maharaj sends Arjuna to Dwaraka. And he says, see, ever since the battle of Kurukshetra is over, what is this? Krishna is not coming only this side to Hastinapura. He has established us as emperors and he has gone away. Now we want to know what is the next program of work of Krishna. Jnatum cha punya shlokasya Krishnasya cha vicheshtitam. It is said. I want to know what is Krishna's next program of work so that we can all help him or we can all serve him. Of course, the Lord doesn't need anybody's help, but he gives service opportunity to his selected pure devotees to accomplish his purpose in the material world. So Yudhishthir Maharaj tells Arjuna, go to Dwaraka and find out what does the Lord want us to do next. He told us to fight the war we have fought. I was not interested to occupy the throne, but Krishna told, so therefore I occupied the throne. Now I am ruling the whole world according to the principles given by Krishna. Now, what is the next program of work? What does the Lord want us to do next? Please go, Arjuna, find out and come. So, like this, Yudhishthir Maharaj sends Arjuna to Dwaraka. What is understanding from this? A pure devotee like Yudhishthir Maharaj, he is ever eager to receive orders from Krishna and carry out those orders. They just want to be order carriers of Krishna. Yudhishthir Maharaj did not say, see, now I have become emperor on my own strength and on the strength of my brothers, Arjuna, Bhima, and all of them. Now I am so great. No, he never said like that. He said, it is mercy of Krishna we have become the rulers of this world. So, what is the next service that Krishna wants us to do? Krishna is not telling us. Till now, he was with us only. Until this battle of Kurukshetra was over, he was with us only. He was every moment he was giving us directions. Now he is not there. He has gone away to Dwaraka. What is his vicheshtitam? What is his program of work? Please find out. So, this is the meaning of being a devotee. Devotee means he's only interested to carry out the will of the Lord. Such a person is called a devotee. So, if you see Srila Prabhupada is a pure devotee of the Lord. Why? Because he simply acted to carry out the will of the Lord. The Lord comes to this material world with a mission to establish dharma, to make everybody attracted to him. So he performed his leelas 5,000 years ago and went back to Godhead. But after that, what about the people who are now in Kali Yuga? How will they get attracted to Krishna? So again the Lord came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in this Kali Yuga about 500 years ago. And he came this time, the Lord came in the mood of his own devotee. And by his personal behavior, he established the process of chanting Hare Krishna mantra as the Yuga Dharma based on the revealed scriptures. And he told everybody you should chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Now, after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left, the six Goswamis of Vrindavan carried forward the movement, Sankirtana movement established by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And after that, there were many other great acharyas after the Goswamis of Vrindavan. They pushed on the movement. And later on, in the modern age, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur had a strong desire that we should make this prophecy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu come true. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's prophecy was Prithvi te achayata nagaradi grama sarvatra prachara haibe mora nama. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had predicted a time will come when every in every town and village on the surface of the earth, the holy name of Krishna will be chanted. This is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's prophecy. And if the Supreme Lord Himself desires, who can stop that? It is bound to become true. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he had firm conviction in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's prophecy. So he used to write books, and he used to send his books and his essays to important people all over the world, to England, to many other countries he used to send. And then Bhaktivinoda Thakur desired that to make this prophecy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu come true, I need one son who is going to be empowered by the Lord directly. See, generally materialistic parents, they desire that, what I could not achieve in my life, my son should achieve. I could not have, I could not build my own house in Bangalore city. My son should, buy a 30-40 site, and he should have build a own house in Bangalore. And I should see that and I should die. So this kind of desires. Oh, I could not get into, I could not become an engineer. My son should become an engineer. I could not become a doctor. My daughter should become a doctor. Like this, parents desire. But Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he desired, I want a son who can take this Hare Krishna Mahamantra all over the world. And he prayed ardently to the Lord. And he was blessed by a very, very brilliant uh, devotee, Acharya, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, in the modern age, he was the first Acharya to preach Krishna consciousness in an organized manner. So he established Gaudiya Mats, 64 Gaudiya Mats all over the country. And he said, we should we should propagate this Mahamantra. This is a desire of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he sent his sannyasi disciples to London. He said, you should go there and convince the English men to take up Krishna Bhakti, make them devotees. You see how this spirit of mission of the Lord is very nicely inherited by the acharyas in our sampradaya. And somehow they were not actually successful. They came back unsuccessful. Later on, uh, the illustrious disciple of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Srila Prabhupada, hmm, His Divine Grace Abhay Charanarovinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada, he made this prophecy true. Srila Prabhupada, he went all over the world, starting at 70 years. When he was 70 years, he started from India. And he had so much faith in his spiritual master's instructions. He had so much faith in Lord Chaitanya's prophecy. He had so much faith in Lord Krishna's words of Bhagavad Gita. He said, yes, it is possible. Starting at 70 years, when he was 70 years, he started. And he took this mission all over the world. And today, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's prophecy has actually become true. Prithvi te achayata nagaradi grama sarvatra prachara haipe moranam. In every town and village on this surface, there will be at least one person who will be chanting Hare Krishna. It's a fact. So all of us also have this opportunity We are all very fortunate. We are born during the golden period of this Kali Yuga. The first 500 years of Kali Yuga is known as, first 10,000 years of Kali Yuga is known as golden age of Kali Yuga. We are, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement is active, it is going on. We are all reaping the benefits of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement, isn't it? Uh, just like every day we are meeting and discussing Bhagavatam. It's not an ordinary thing. It's not an ordinary thing. We are getting to hear the pure message of Bhagavatam as given in the as coming down through the Parampara system that Srila Prabhupada has given us. It's not an ordinary thing. We are chanting Hare Krishna mantra every day, even though we are in Kali Yuga. This is all not ordinary thing. So the Lord has a mission. If we can also become part of the mission of the Lord. What is the Lord's mission now? 5,000 years ago, Arjuna was given an opportunity to participate in the mission of the Lord by fighting for dharma as a kshatriya. Today also there is a mission of the Lord going on. What is that? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's prophecy is not fully, it is not fully realized. Hmm? Still there are thousands and millions of people in this planet who don't know who is Krishna, who don't know what is Hare Krishna Mahamantra, they don't know what is Bhagavad Gita. So we have an opportunity to go and tell as many people as possible about Krishna consciousness. Hmm? We have an opportunity. This is the mission of the Lord. We should participate in this mission of the Lord in our own capacity. Then we will get the same fortune as Arjuna got. Imagine, Arjuna got an opportunity to participate in Krishna's mission directly in the capacity as a warrior. We also can do that today by participating in Chaitanya's movement. Yare dekho tare kaho Krishna Upadesh. This is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's order to all of us. Whomever you meet, tell them about Krishna, Krishna's instructions, Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. This is my order, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying. So we also have this opportunity. We should not miss this opportunity. So uh, it is mentioned here, Govinda Priyasanathihi. I'll just take another 5 minutes and wrap up. Athopetya swashibhiram Govinda Priyasanathihi Nyavedayat tam priyayai. So Arjuna entered the Pandava camp where Draupadi was still lamenting, she was still crying in front of the dead bodies of her sons. And Arjuna entered along with Govinda, Krishna, who is his dear friend and charioteer. And what did Arjuna do? Nyavedayat tam priyayai. Nyavedayat means Arjuna entrusted Ashwathama to Draupadi. So Arjuna told Draupadi, as per my promise, I have brought Ashwathama to you. Actually, Arjuna had promised Draupadi that I will bring the head of the murderer. That means I will kill and bring. So it is as per the scriptures, it is allowed because Arjuna is a kshatriya, he's a king, he has the right to perform, he has the right to punish the murderer, and evidence is also there. It is very clear that Ashwathama only has killed. That's why he was running away out of fear of his life when he saw Krishna and Arjuna on the chariot chasing him. So now he has caught, but somehow he was not. And Krishna himself told, you can kill Ashwathama. But somehow Arjuna was not ready to kill Ashwathama. So he brought him alive, bound up with ropes like one binds an animal. He brought and entrusted Ashwathama to Priyayai, to his dear wife, Draupadi, and who was actually Shochantya Atmajan Hatan, who was actually lamenting for her dead sons. So Prabhupada writes in the purport here, Arjuna's specific relationship with Krishna is Sakhya Rasa. There are 5 primary rasas in which devotees are related with Krishna. Shanta rasa, dasya rasa, sakhya rasa, then vatsalya rasa, madhurya rasa. So five rasas. So Arjuna was related with Krishna as a dearmost friend in sakhya rasa. So Prabhupada writes here, everyone thus can enjoy the company of the Lord in the spiritual realm if he at all desires and sincerely tries for it by process of bhakti yoga. So when we take up the process of bhakti yoga or Krishna consciousness sincerely, we can also revive our original spiritual relationship with Krishna and we can go back to the spiritual world and enjoy loving relationship with Krishna. Like Arjuna, Arjuna is constitutionally a friend of Krishna in the spiritual world also. So therefore, uh, Prabhupada is saying here that we should sincerely follow the process of Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada writes in the introduction to Bhagavad Gita, he says that if we sincerely follow the instructions of Bhagavad Gita under the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master, then by chanting, by hearing, by applying ourselves to the process of devotional service, when we become qualified, when we become matured at a certain stage, our constitutional position will be revealed to us. It will be revealed to us. What is our actual position in the spiritual world? How are we related to Krishna in the spiritual world? That will be revealed to us. That is called Swarupa Siddhi. So we have to sincerely apply ourselves to the process. We have to chant, we have to follow the regulative principles, hear more and more about Krishna in the association of devotees, and any opportunity we get to serve the Lord we should, and his devotees, we should serve. This is the way of applying ourselves sincerely to the process of Bhakti Yoga. And when we do this, we can also go back to the spiritual world and become established in our original relationship with Krishna and enjoy an eternal life of service to Krishna, which actually, for which the soul is actually hankering life after life. So we will continue to read and discuss. After this, there are many interesting, very important shlokas. Draupadi's assessment of the whole situation and what does Draupadi decide finally. And finally, after hearing from Draupadi, now Arjuna has already heard from Krishna what Krishna wants him to do. Then he hears from Draupadi what she wants him to do, and both will be opposite. Then it is very interesting to note what Arjuna actually does. So that we will see in the coming sessions. Thank you very much. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Vishwa Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.